And you provided certainly one of my favorite memories in Toronto. And you talked about that quarterfinal loss to Detroit, but on the way there, you guys got by the St. Louis Blues. This is the '87 playoffs, of course, and Wendell Clark with a beautiful pass in the middle to Springer for breakaway. Look at these wheels here. Deke to the forehand, and you're beating Greg Millen like a rented mule. And that was the winning goal as the Leafs clinched the series over the Blues, made it to the second round. And the Leafs had not won a playoff series in 9 years. Tell us about that moment.
There's actually a better camera angle on that goal where it's come from the end zone. I don't know if you have that.
Well, let it roll, Vic. See if it gets to that. Yeah, see if it gets to the overhead. Here we go. This might be it. There's right on the tape. And here we go. Yeah, there we go. That was a beautiful deke. Sensational. Now I can see why you and Stumpy and Wes Jarvis would be racking up the goals in the minors with moves like that. Holy crap!
Yeah, it was. What was the question again?
Well, just that moment. What was that like for you? Just scoring
it was
this
the
big a
beginning
goal,
game. It was only about
wrapping it
3 minutes into the game, and the game was very physical. If you watch the game right from the beginning, I mean, just before that, I one of the St. Louis players ran into Regan behind the net, and he lost his mask. And then, I jumped on the ice and I saw the puck go to Wendell. And as soon as he had the puck, the defenseman was caught pinching, and I just broke in the middle of the ice. And it was one of the only times Wendell passed it actually on my tape instead of on my feet or up on my or I had to use a baseball glove to knock it down. But he passed it right on the tape that time, and I had no excuses. But I knew what I was going to do because that's my move on breakaways against those type of goalies. And Millen's a great goalie, and I know one time a few years later that I was out with Millen and what was the coach? Jacques Martin, and Jacques Martin was really giving it to him that I had scored that big goal on him. So we had some fun with it, and it was it's funny everywhere I go when I'm in Toronto or I'm leaving Windsor, I'm going up to the 401 and I'm pulling over at one of the places to get gas or to get a coffee somewhere, and just people always come to me and say they remember where they were when I scored that goal, and I find that kind of bizarre because it was like 30 years ago, but it's still it makes it feel good. I remember I was with my kids, and my kids think I'm a nothing burger with cheese. They don't give me any credit. And one day we pulled over one of the stops, and all of a sudden I had about 40 people around me signing autographs and taking pictures. And I got back to the car. I said, "That's your old man, okay?"
Right. Well, there was something about you. You had a spark, and you were incredibly popular. And let's look at the end of that game now, Vic. Let's roll that. 51 ticks to go. Fans of Maple Leaf Gardens, what are they doing? They're chanting your name. And Brove sent you out there for the curtain call. There's Kenny Regan right there. Crowd went absolutely bonkers. You guys up 4-0. So tell us what's going through your mind here as you're feeling the love here from the fans.
Well, first of all, I didn't want to go on the ice. I thought I'd be very selfish. I mean, I appreciate the response from the crowd yelling my name, which was a big deal. And then the guys forced me to go, so I went. I went, and Regan was great that night. He got the shutout, and I think he was first star. And
you were second star.
It was emotional. It was emotional, and just winning the series was a big thing for the city, and going forward. So yeah, it was a very emotional time.
So yeah, obviously we know there have been some very lean years in Toronto. Winning a playoff